Welcome to the video lecture. In this video lecture, I am going to talk about conic sections. What is conic section? Conic section means the section obtained after cutting the right regular cone. Those shapes are called, we will be getting different shapes, those shapes are called conic sections. Namely, circle, ellipse, parabola, hyperbola, rectangular, hyperbola. So before going to see different position of the cutting plane with respect to the axis and the base of the cone, we can see the nomenclature of the cone. So if we come into the cone, this is the cone. Here we can see the name, the nomenclature of the cone. The first one is apex. So in this diagram, we are able to see the first content, that is apex. So according to this position here, the apex means that is the topmost point of the cone. That's it. This is also called vertex. And similarly, if we come into the second content, that is axis. So here we can see axis means simply it is an imaginary line that connects center of the base and the topmost point of the cone. That is called axis. And next we can move to the generator. Generator means here we are showing two lines. These two lines are called generators in this diagram. But if we come into the generator, simply it is a line which is generating. It is a line which is generating the surface of the cone. That is the purpose of the generator. But if we come into the diagram, we are able to show only two generators, left generator and right generator. And if we come into the fourth content, that is base. Base means simply it is a circular portion of the cone. And next we can see the different positions of the cutting plane to obtain different conic sections by means of diagram. Okay, now we can see how the conic sections are generated with the help of sectional plane. And before going to explain conic sections, let me tell you how the cone is generated. So for that purpose, we can take a plane surface, that is right angular triangular plane surface, 30 to 60 degrees set square type. So we can fix this vertical line. It looks like an axis comparing to this diagram. So we can fix this set square. Then we can rotate the same plane surface 360 degrees. So at the end of the 360 degrees, we will be getting this cone. This cone will be obtained. So if we observe this plane surface, here this topmost point is fixed, that is apex, and this line also fixed. But here movable line, that is this inclined line. So this one is by means of rotating this line, we are getting the cone surface. So that is why this line is called generator. But after 360 degrees, we can show two generators. One is left side generator, here we can see. One is left side generator and second one is the right side generator. So now we can move to the conic sections. First one, that is circle. It is a shape. So we can see how the circle is obtained. Similarly, how to cut the cone with the help of sectional plane. So for that purpose, I am taking sectional plane. This is also called cutting plane. So here we are having cone, front view. So whatever the view, this one is the cone, and we can cut the object such that we can see the sectional plane position. This is parallel to the base, and perpendicular to the axis. We are having axis here. So this is the axis of the cone. So we are going to cut the object related to the axis and base of the cone. So I am taking cutting plane. Then I can cut the object in this way. So if we observe this cutting plane position, this is perpendicular to the axis and to the base and it cuts all the generators. All the generators. Okay, now we can see the position of the cutting plane to obtain circular shape. So here, as I said, that cutting plane is perpendicular to the axis, that means parallel to the base, and it cuts all the generators. So let me show you the cutting plane in this diagram. So this is the cutting plane. We are cutting the object in this way. Then after removing this portion, we will be getting a top surface. We can show the top surface. So here we will be getting the shape in this way. Let me show this one by means of shading. So this is the surface obtained after removing this portion. That means after cutting the object. And when it will be visible, the true shape of the circle. So the observer must be see the object in this direction only. So we can give the sectional plane naming here A to A. So we can give A to A. So in this way we will be getting the circular plane surface. So after that we can move to the ellipse. So now we can see the position of the cutting plane to obtain ellipse. That means we are going to cut the pole. So here we can see the position of the cutting plane. Here this one is making 45 degrees inclination with respect to the axis. In the previous position perpendicular to the axis, but here it is making 45 degrees inclined to the axis of the cone. So we can cut the object in this position. So let me show you the cutting plane position with respect to the axis by means of this line. And let me use some other color. Yeah, this is the cutting plane to obtain elliptical shape. So here after removing the top portion, here we will be getting new surface at the top portion. So let me show you the top surface. In this way we will be getting the top surface. Here I have the model of elliptical shape of the object. I am having the cone and having the cone. Here this is the cutting plane. As I said that the position of the cutting plane 45 degrees inclined to the axis of the cone. So we can cut the object in this direction. So we can cut it. Then after removing the top portion, we will be getting the new surface, that is elliptical plane surface. So this is about second conic, that is ellipse. So after that we can see the third conic section. So let us see the position of the cutting plane to obtain parabola. So I am taking the sectional plane. Here sectional plane is parallel to one of the generators, either this generator or this generator, whatever, that is your wish. So we can take the sectional plane parallel to right side generator. So then cut the object in this direction, and if we observe this one here, this sectional plane is not cutting this generator. That means this is not cutting all the generators. In the previous two cases, sectional planes are cutting all the generators. That is why we got closed curve. That means circle and ellipse both are closed curves. But if we come into the parabola, it is not cutting all the generators, sectional plane. So that here we will get open curve. So let me show you the cutting plane to obtain parabola. So here this line is parallel to the right side generator. And here I forgot, this is B to B, sectional plane naming of ellipse. And next here I am giving the naming, that is C to C. So here we can cut it this way, C to C. So after removing this portion, we will be getting new surface here. So that surface is called parabola. So when the parabola true shape is visible, so the observer must be see the object in this direction. So that time only we are able to see the true shape of the parabola. And similarly, for the purpose of true shape of the ellipse, the observer must be see the object in this direction only. That time only we are able to see the elliptical plane surface. Let me show the weird direction to obtain. That is it. And here, with the help of diagram, I am showing. So in this way, we will be getting parabola. Don't worry, I will explain once again this one. We are having cone. Similar to this object, we are having cone, and here we are taking cutting plane that is parallel to this generator. Simple. Here we can cut the object in this direction. So this is parallel to the right side generator. Then after that we can remove this portion, so that here we will be getting new surface. So that surface is called parabola. So this is the parabola we got at this particular portion. And similarly, let me show you the cutting plane position to obtain hyperbola. And here the sectional plane is making smaller inclination with the axis of the cone, and it cuts one side of the axis of the cone only. That means this is the axis of the cone. We can cut the object either left side portion or right side portion, that is your wish. But the condition, the sectional plane must be making smaller inclination with respect to the axis of the cone. So here I am taking left side of the axis. It is not passing through the axis, it is having small distance. So we can take a small distance and tilt this way, just a smaller inclination with respect to the axis of the cone. Then cut the object in this way. So let me show you the cutting plane position. Okay, here I can cut the object in this way. Yeah, here it is making smaller inclination. We can cut the object in this way. So here we should see the object in this direction, so that we will be getting the true shape of the object. Then after removing this portion, here we will be getting new surface. That surface is called hyperbola. Here I am not showing that hyperbola shape in this diagram, because if we show that one, the diagram becomes clumsy. So similar to the parabola, we will be getting hyperbola, but here it is having some broad curve. That's it. And some of you people may have the doubt. Here hyperbola means we will be getting the curve in this way, but here we are having only one curve. Initially we got a circle, that is the first surface we got circle. Then second one, by the cutting plane B to B, we got elliptical plane surface. Similarly, coming to the parabola, we got this one by cutting the object parallel to the one of the generators, and here we will be getting hyperbola in this way. So here the difference between parabola and hyperbola, this is the wide curve comparing to the parabola. But some of you people are having doubt. Hyperbola means this is the shape of the hyperbola. But here we are cutting only one cone. If we cut double curved cone, that means when we are having cones in this way, and if we cut these two curves, that means double curved cones, we will be getting the hyperbola in this way. But we are cutting the single curved cone in this, so that we are getting only single curve. That is it. And next, let me show you how to obtain the rectangular hyperbola, that is the last curve. So here, if you come into the position of the cutting plane, here the sectional plane is parallel to the generator. Sectional plane is parallel to the axis. Sectional plane is parallel to the axis and perpendicular to the base. And it cuts only one side of the axis only. So we can cut the object in this way. So let me show you the cutting plane with another chart. So this is the position of the cutting plane, and we can cut the object in this way. Then we can remove this portion or this portion. We will be getting a new surface. That surface shape is called rectangular hyperbola. So let me so this one, this is E to E, cutting plane name E to E. So we can show this one. So after removing this portion, we will be getting the new surface. And let me show you the rectangular hyperbola shape after removing this portion. Here we will be getting the rectangular hyperbola in this way. That means this one is representing the Boyle's law expansion curve. I think some of you people are having an idea about Boyle's law expansion curve. So with the help of rectangular hyperbola, we can show the Boyle's law expansion curve. So once again, let me explain you. So the position of the cutting plane to obtain circular shape, that is exactly parallel to the axis. That is perpendicular to the axis of the cone. And if you come into the ellipse, this one is making 45 degrees inclined to the axis. 45 degrees inclined to the axis. And if you come into the parabola, it is parallel to generator. Parallel to generator. And if you come into the hyperbola, it is making smaller inclination with axis. And if we come into the rectangular hyperbola, it is parallel to axis. That's it. Okay, if we observe these 5 conic sections here, we are having 2 closed curves and remaining 3 are open curves. So what is the reason? Because here, if we observe the cutting plane A to A for circle, it is cutting all the generators. That is why we are getting circular shape. That means closed curve. And similarly, if we come into the similarly, if we come into the ellipse, this one also closed curve, because here the sectional plane B to B making 45 degrees inclination with the axis, and it is cutting all the generators. That is why we are getting closed curve. But if you come into the parabola, hyperbola, rectangular hyperbola, 3 are open curves, because here C to C, D to D, and E to E. These 3 sectional planes are not cutting all the generators. That is why we are getting open curves. And this is about the formation of conic sections by cutting the object in different positions with respect to the axis of the cone. So coming to the applications, here as I said that bottom to top, we can come bottom to top. So if you come into the rectangular hyperbola, we can use this one for the purpose of representing the Boyle's-law expansion curve. And if you come into the ellipse, parabola, hyperbola, these curves are used in the construction purpose, the construction of bridges, dams, suspension bridges, elliptical gates, etc. We can use these all curves. So already I hope you people know what is the purpose of circle, because we are having number of daily usage objects in circular shapes. So for the purpose of constructing them, we can use this shape. So this is about applications of the different shapes of the conic sections. Thank you. This is about conic section. Thank you. Okay, now we can see the construction of different types of conics. So if you come into the construction of, no need to discuss about circle construction, because when we are having either diameter or radius, directly we can construct circle. But if we come into the remaining conics, that means ellipse, parabola, rectangular, hyperbola. So we are having different methods for constructing these four conic sections. So out of them we are having, according to our syllabus, we are having eccentricity method. So eccentricity that is denoted by small e. So what is eccentricity? We can see the definition to the eccentricity at this particular end. So here the distance between vertex to focus, that means the ratio of the distance between vertex to focus to the distance between vertex to directrix, that is called eccentricity. So if we come into the eccentricity values, so here we can see we are having new words. So those are the vertex, focus, directrix, all are the new words to you people. So let me explain what are these particular things. So directrix means simply it is a vertical line. Simply it is a vertical line. That is one more thing, that is the fixed vertical line. Directrix means fixed vertical line. That's it. And next, the second one, focus. So focus means it is a fixed point. So here this is fixed vertical line. This one is fixed point. So here fixed point is located on the axis. Let me show you the axis. As I said that this one is representing first particular, this line. And this particular line is representing fourth particular number according to this series. This is fourth one, that is axis. And next fixed point which is located on the axis of the cone. So we can place anywhere on this. So in the question we will have the distance between the directrix to focus. So directly we can mark the focus according to the given condition while we are constructing conic. So here we can mark focus. And as I said that this line is representing directrix. As I said that this line is representing axis. Axis always perpendicular to the directrix, and focus is a fixed point which is located on the axis. That is over. And next, last one, that is vertex. Vertex means simply it is the intersection point of conic and axis. So where the conic is touching with the axis, that particular point is called vertex. So always the vertex is located between DF. So wherever. So depends on the position of the vertex, we will be getting the conic. So suppose this is the vertex. Suppose vertex is located exactly midpoint of DF, we will be getting parabola, because here DV is equal to VF. So we can see how we will be getting the conics with the help of eccentricity in the next video lecture. So here if you come into the eccentricity values, for ellipse always we will be having eccentricity value that is less than 1. E less than 1 for ellipse. And if you come in less than 1 means like 2 by 3, 3 by 4, 4 by 5. So what is this 2 number? 2 number is representing distance between VF, 2 units. And similarly, distance between vertex to directrix, that is 3 units. You will have clear a view about this particulars in the next video lecture, that is about construction of conics. And if you come into the value of parabola, that is E is equal to 1. That means here we will have VF value, VD value both are same. So when VF and VD value both are same, we will be getting 1. So similarly, if you come into the hyperbola, here eccentricity values, we can see eccentricity values 3 by 2, 4 by 3, 5 by 4, 6 by 5, 6 by 4, like that. So that means eccentricity value is greater than 1 according to this particular eccentricity values. So in this way we will be having eccentricity values. Coming to the rectangular hyperbola, actually eccentricity value is √2 for rectangular hyperbola, but we will not construct rectangular hyperbola with eccentricity method. We are having some other method, that is asymptotes method. So in the next video lecture we can see the construction of rectangular hyperbola with the help of asymptotes method. And let me show you vertex points and for the different conics. So suppose this is the fixed vertical line, that means directrix, and here this is the axis. Always axis and directrix both are mutually perpendicular to each other. Simply I can write D. D means it is not a point. This is a line. This one is the axis. And as I said that fixed point which is located on the axis, that I can say this is F. Wherever actually in the given problem we will have the distance between directrix to focus. So we can mark that particular point according to the given condition. So and similarly for the purpose of parabola, the vertex position must be located exactly center of the DF. So here we will be getting the parabola in this way. Yes, we will be getting the parabola in this way. Similarly, if you come into the ellipse, we will have the eccentricity value less than 1. Less than 1 means we will be getting the vertex point at this particular position. That means after V. Between VF we will be getting the vertex point. We can see these particular things in the next class. So here we will be getting the ellipse in this way. So we will be getting the ellipse in this way, and here ellipse is touching at two particular points with the axis of the cone. So here we will have two vertices. V1 at left end, V2 at right end. So, yeah, okay. As I said that for parabola we will have the vertex point exactly at the midpoint of DF. So after midpoint of the DF, suppose we are having vertex, we will be getting the ellipse. That means we will have the eccentricity value less than 1. And if we come into the hyperbola, as I said that here hyperbola eccentricity values that is greater than 1. So we will be getting the vertex position left side of the midpoint of the DF, that is the vertex point. So in this way we will be getting the hyperbola when the eccentricity value is greater than, and this eccentricity value is greater than 1. So here we are able to see the curves. We can construct these curves in the next video lecture, and we will solve a number of problems for the purpose of obtaining these conic sections in the next video lecture. And we are able to see the difference also here. And one more thing here, this is the closed curve, that is why we are getting two vertex, and these two are open curves, that is why we are having one vertex only. So this is about conic sections. Thanks for your patience.